Welcome to the show. After a hard-fought victory against the Creamline Cool Smashers, the Petro Gazz Angels are one step away from the 2023 PVL All-Filipino Conference title. Let's relive the highlights from Game 1 and get a preview of tomorrow's crucial face-off with volleyball analyst, our good friend Aiel Estoñera is back here on the game. Aiel, good evening. Welcome back.
Good evening. Thanks for having me again.
Oh, as always, it is our pleasure. But before we talk about Creamline and Petro, partner, let's talk about F2 getting ahead in their series in the battle for bronze against the PLDT high-speed hitters. How did you see that match? Medyo masama yung kanilang simula, and then they recovered in sets 2, 3, and 4 in the presence of their Coach Ramil. Yes.
Exactly. For PLDT, again, they started strong. Jules Amonte stepped up for Man Mendres, who was on the bench. Jules started in the first 6. But for F2, they found their momentum in the second set, and then they just never looked back after that. They really pulled away. For me, it was really their blocking and the serving that helped them. They had 18 big kill blocks.
Sounds familiar with LaSalle blocking and serving.
They really maximized their strength in that. And Abby Maranyo, just being infectious with their energy and intensity, it gave a lot of confidence to her teammates as well.
Felt like a throwback performance from F2, and of course, let's see how that develops in the future. Now, moving on into the finals. First of all, what a game. And I don't know how to describe it, but then if you were to try and put it in a nutshell, what did we see in this particular contest?
Oh, just really great quality of volleyball. Like, big talents, a lot of veterans just really showing their wit and their talents and then playing. So for the Petro Gazz Angels, they just came in prepared. They didn't use a lot of power in terms of attacking, but they really did recognize the holes and the weak spots in the defense pattern of the Creamline Cool Smashers. The reason why Creamline was a bit of like disorganized in their defense, but the bright spot for Creamline is that a lot of their attacks, their combination plays really worked for them, but they really needed that first touch because Gia de Guzman was really trying to chase the second ball a lot of times in that game.
Right. You know, obviously I covered that game number 1, and I covered her whole college career, and I was about to say, I've never seen her ball chase as much as I don't think I've ever seen her execute as many dig passes in a game as much as I did last night. Which means, Aiel, for the audience, what does that mean that she could not get the right tosses last night?
Definitely, the Petro Gazz Angels really worked on their service. They made sure that they would challenge the first ball of the Creamline Cool Smashers, because when you play against a team who plays a system that is fast, low sets, you would really want to put them out of system a lot of times because you would want them to be more predictable, because when you're out of system, a lot of times you just set up the wing attacker. So the reason why Petro Gazz Angels also played well in their blocking, they were very much in sync. The net defense was very much in sync in their floor defense because they were marking the right angles, and their blocking formation was very much established.
It just felt that they were ready for everything that Creamline would throw at them. But of course, speaking about being ready and speaking about experience, Jonas Sabete in particular had a great game, all-around performance. You can go through the numbers here of Sabete: 18 points, 16 from attacks, 2 from blocks, and 15 excellent receptions, and 10 digs. You take a look at that, it just feels like an all-around performance and something that needs to be replicated if they want to get over Creamline.
And it's not just Jonas Sabete. It was everyone, the Petro Gazz Angels, on their side. The wing attackers, specifically Jonna and Gretchen Soltones, were very on point. And the reason why they had to, because they're not only attacking, they made sure they also contributed in the floor defense, which was very effective on their side because they converted a lot of points off counterattacks.
Let's go through, we have time anyway, so let's go through some individual performances and what impressed you. Jonna, back-to-back POGs, by the way. Last game of the semifinals, she was the POG. Again, stepping up with averaging 15 points in that semifinals, and then now another POG. Does it concern you, first question, about the whole cramping thing? Kasi medyo dalawang beses na. And 2, who else stood out for you when we break down the individual performance?
Oh, definitely Jonas Sabete is one, but Cheng just doing an amazing job in terms of playmaking, because we always highlight the setters, because when you're in the pros and when you're in the finals, now, the setter plays a very big role because everyone's good in blocking, everyone's good in defense. So the setter, she creates the spaces and the blocking, especially for them, that Creamline is also a good blocking team. Cheng just really created those spaces so that her attackers would be in a comfortable position to attack.
You know, again, for Cheng, 20 excellent sets in that game. And of course, we talked a bit about the scoring a while ago. There were just actually a lot of contributors. Obviously, Sabete led the charge with 18. But then Aiza Pontiles with 15, MJ Phillips with 14, and Gretchen Sotones with 14 as well. You go to the other side, you mentioned a while ago that, okay, that first ball needs to be handled a lot better. What are the, I guess, the easier adjustments or the most obvious adjustments Creamline have to make if they want to get over this hump?
Oh, they just have to be stronger in terms of the first ball, because honestly, both teams really displayed great work and team chemistry and execution yesterday. Like the score would say a lot about it, but on the side of Creamline, they just need that first touch, because again, they have the top 3 most efficient attackers on their side, and they're the best setter, #1 setter after the eliminations in Gia de Guzman. So they just need to execute. And I think what was the most crucial for Creamline was their errors towards the end of the set. It was very costly because it was when they were 20, Petro Gazz was in 21. It was too close for them to make that error.
In a game like that, 26-24, 25-23,
exactly.
all of these sets, it's when those errors, because they were making the point, Ish, our partner yesterday, was making the point, it was clean volleyball basically, right?
For both teams.
For both teams. The errors were not as much, but the timing power of those errors.
Exactly.
The service error of Celine in the first set, I think, the service error of Mitch.
And again,
the net touch.
Exactly. Petro Gazz also, players wasn't aggressive. Coaches were very aggressive in calling the challenges, and they were successful most of the time. The net touch of Gia de Guzman in that fourth set, as well as Tots Carlos. Those were 2 last points in the last 2 sets.
Correct.
So
Match point nga yung isa.
Very crucial.
Wow.
Yeah, and of course, looking forward to it. I don't know how we can actually preview the next one, because it is just, everything's just so in the balance. But then, if you were to decide, or if you were to predict at which part of the game will the game be won, at what particular aspect of it, what will separate these two?
7 sets!
No! Boom and I talked about this off-air. It's hard to tell. It's
really
these kinds of teams and kinds of games that even analysts could have a very difficult time to predict. It's just hard.
The best thing to do is just watch.
Exactly.
Tomorrow.
And enjoy.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Ayel, maraming salamat.
Prepare for another nerve-wracking one, Ayel.